Hey everyone, Sly47 here. Today we're going to rectify some of my bad takes during Tiermaker season 2023. Now, I have a few ships here today that we're going to be going over, but of course, let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with the changes that I'm going to make today, and then on top of that, any other ships that I might need to revisit. Let's get into it. Now, first up to bat, let's start off with the first Tiermaker, which was the Tier 10 DD one with Red Gaming Dino. Now, for this one, it's the Z52. I judged it way too harshly. Now, this is the base one. It does still have a niche. It should be a niche. It can hunt down DDs incredibly well. It does actually have pretty decent torpedoes, and it's set up with everything that it offers. It is a very niche ship. I think I was just pushing it out because of the Regolo that really takes its niche to an extreme and does a, I'd say, arguably way better job than it, but it still has it, especially if you get into a game without a Regolo, which really there aren't too many of those players out there. So you can still shut down Shimmos. You can just ruin Gearing's days. You can actually have pretty decent torpedoes. Yeah, Z52, no, that it fits in niche. It should stay in niche. And yeah, I was just judging it way too harshly. Now onto Tier 10 cruisers. So after this one, I got a lengthy response from plenty of people on this, and I actually, yeah, we were kind of thinking, I don't know, I think we were too stuck in our ways of seeing that Genon was just so powerful. Why ever bring the Minotaur? But in reality, the Minotaur is meta. The Minotaur is definitely a meta cruiser at Tier 10. It is fantastic to play. I've revisited a few times now in games. I didn't get any games that I really loved, but I definitely could see how I was just controlling the field in that position. So Minotaur, that definitely is in meta. It is not competitive, and Genon doesn't push it out, as Genon's a whole different set of solutions for other ships. So to me, I think that we were judging it too harshly. And secondly, especially after the buffs that a lot of these ships actually got, I think the one that benefited the most was the Hindi, and I think that moves it up into niche, in my opinion, way out of playable, in my opinion, because just the range buff that now it has, especially now with the Trick Hindi, instead of just being into competitive, it is now high competitive, borderline the player, making it low meta and everything like that. But the Hindi, it hits DDs hard. It absolutely can smack other ships around. It's got just a lot of capabilities to it. Does still soak a lot of damage when it's getting hit by battleships, but what cruiser on this list isn't already doing that also as well? So right there, I think Hindi's going to be in a nice niche spot. Now, while we're talking about range buffs, let's talk about another ship that I can see the arguments that a lot of people made within the comments section. I can agree with it, but now, especially with the range buffs, I can agree with it. So Des Moines definitely moves into its own niche, especially as the base version, as the range feels comfortable now without the range mod, that I actually played around with it, whether or not you wanted the range mod or you didn't want the range mod. But yeah, no, Des Moines right now sits within its own niche. It's now much more comfortable to play overall and pulls itself out of playable, while the tricked version definitely pulls itself out of niche and becomes a much more competitive ship with the capabilities of a legendary commander or even that additional range tacked on. You know, actually on the battleship one, I was actually told by a few people that this list was going to be the most controversial of them all. And yeah, in the comments, yeah, no, everyone was like, yeah, that this hits it just about right, until I got just a nice smack across the face by Granddad and so many others. Yeah, the more I play it, the St. Vincent is in the wrong position. It is nowhere near Thunderer. It needs to be up here along in competitive. And if there was a tricked version of St. Vincent, which then you put on Nelson, or even, I'd almost want to wonder if Trovy would actually be a good idea too with that APCS Plus. But there might be a call next year for a St. Vincent tricked, and that being borderline meta. This ship can pump out a lot of damage, and people don't think of it too much because they see just squishy. You know, oh my god, it's just South Pool, and you know, just you got the massive heals. But those massive heals, if you pace yourself in a battle, you can print yourself a whole brand new ship, and in doing so, you can absolutely dumpster a bunch of damage into ships, especially with how accurate the St. Vincent is. So yeah, no, St. Vincent definitely should have been in competitive. That was just my bad. So now we've rectified all of Granddad's problems with these lists. But yeah, this list was, a lot of people were actually saying that this was, you know, especially within the Patreon members early viewing it, they're all like, this is going to be a bad list. People are going to disagree. And overall, yeah, no, people overall actually agree pretty well with it. So I was quite surprised by it. Now back to the insanity that is all of these premium ships. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Well, let's actually quickly hit some new ships. Actually, I just want to make sure to kind of come in with Black Benson. This is just good to buy. It's a better Benson overall. I definitely could suggest it to just about every DD player here. It's just a better version of it, so it's good to buy. Pretty solid there. Hector, I'm going to actually put Hector in playable right now. It needs some buffs. Once it gets the buffs, I think it's going to go right up in the niche, borderline, if not right into good to buy. Hector overall, it needs something. You can feel it. It's not quite there. It has a lot of power to it, but it doesn't have the opportunity to bring those powers out. And then finally, Trash Can 39. This one's going right into just niche. It's a niche ship. It just send out a crap ton of torps. Sometimes those torps are gonna hit, sometimes they're not, and the guns don't really back you up really all that well. So yeah, there you have that. It's like those are pretty much the new ships here for the premium Tiermaker. Now for things I'd like to revisit on the premium line, because in my opinion, we were rating the Nelson way too high. I love the Nelson. I do. It is fantastic. You could see war crimes at times, but overall, no, the Nelson is not a war crime in and of itself. Just gonna put this, if I can put it in the right area, there we go, right there. It's great to buy. It's just, no, it doesn't do what these 5 do. It just doesn't, not at all. So we're gonna rectify that. And secondly, a lot of people have been hearing about this one because DFA absolutely corrected me in the tier 8 one. Well, now I'm going to rectify it in the premium one because this is absolutely a travesty that we did to this ship, and I apologize to all of the dozen Lenin enjoyers across the world.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
On this one, but the Lenin is not a collector's bin. This is not at all. This is definitely at bare minimum a good to buy ship and everything. It's just, no, it's solid. I am actually going to be doing a whole another video that I'm going to put out with a bunch of clips of Lenin gameplay because, dear Lord, this ship can just wallop with the right setup and everything. I think when I first played it and I got it, I was very early on in my YouTube career and kind of just playing this game. And actually it was one of the last ships that I got on for a severe discount. I think it was like $5 because they gave tokens at the end of a token event, which they should do every single time. But you know, that's a whole nother video. I'm not going to get another rant on token events. But no, the Lenin, I got it for basically like $5 and I thought it was going to be another, you know, it's going to be a tier 8 Nelson. No, it's not a tier 8 Nelson at all. It is something completely different and something that I was overlooking because I was trying to put it into something that it isn't. So to me, I am sorry, Lenin enjoyers, but yeah, no, Lenin is a good to buy ship, especially if you have APCS. God forbid if you have Makarov, this thing is absolutely deadly in it. But no, I wanted to rectify the Lenin here, but overall, I think the rest of them, we generally got the premium fairly good or fairly accurate on this, even though we spent 4 hours on it. But yeah, hopefully that rectifies the premium list as well for Tiermaker. Let me know, of course, if there's any other premiums you think I should go back and revisit. And that is it for the revisit right now. Of course, let me know down below if there's any other ones that I missed, you know, overvalued, undervalued, or maybe think I just need to revisit or anything like that. There's a lot of ships. So I feel like we did a pretty darn good job in Tiermaker season, and it did seem via the viewership numbers, likes, comments, y'all enjoyed it too, which is just straight up amazing. I am so glad that it's over with. But I did want to make sure I covered these ships because I felt like I really missed the mark, especially on the Lenin, and don't worry, another video will be coming with the Lenin in order to talk about it and show it off more and show how you play it if you're struggling with it. But hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell to see whenever a new video goes live. Thank you all for the love and support and making this channel possible and making Tiermaker season 2023 a possibility. That's a wrap for Tiermaker season though. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.